Just one day after the election, racist text messages went out to numerous black Americans across the country. Now, one of the messages reads, "Congratulations, you have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Please be prepared to leave your home. You will be picked up at 8 a.m. in our white van. Also, you will sit with Group C. Have a nice day. Sincerely, a Trump supporter." Wow. There's another version of the message that was sent out to Talia J saying this: "You've been selected to pick a cotton at the nearest plantation." And there are different dates. Okay. Are executive slave catchers? Wow. So look, I'm just gonna come out and say it.
The Republican Party's racist.
Okay. These messages are targeting young people, school children. Okay. And it's disgusting. Mary Banks of Columbus, Ohio, told the Columbus Dispatch that her 16-year-old daughter, some of her friends received the messages that included their names. She said, "I feel white supremacy got stronger after the election. That's my personal opinion." Well, I don't think she's wrong. I mean, multiple college students from the University of Alabama also told their campus paper that they had received these messages, and it caused them, understandably, a lot of fear, a lot of stress. Quote, this is from Sam Burwell, a photographer for Virginia television station 13 News Now. Quote, "I have a cousin up in Richmond who received the same text messages, but I found it weird that in my text messages, it had a different group number than his, and that they both had our names." Then, of course, as I mentioned, Talia J., black resident of Piscataway, New Jersey, shocked when, and then angry and sad when she received that racist text message on Wednesday. Quote, "I thought it was like a joke," she said, who then forwarded the message to loved ones and shared it with CNN. "It really just shows that we didn't come as far as everybody thought we did as a nation from back in the day when slavery was still a thing." Well, again, slavery is still a thing. In fact, in California, they recently shot down a measure that would stop slavery. I'm not kidding. For people that are in prison. So yeah, if you're in prison, you are basically slave labor. Great. Now she said, "It became sadness when I realized that young people were getting it, like elementary schoolers and middle schoolers." Yeah, yeah, they're sending these messages to children, literal children. Oh no, we're gonna protect the children. Oh really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She had then asked, "Why would somebody want to intentionally hurt somebody that you don't even know?" Well, that's what racists do. That's what terrible people do. And so, I mean, it's pretty horrible. Alabama mother Alita McCall said this, quote, "It's eerie that it's the day after the election. It's eerie that it came to my daughter's personal phone. It's eerie that it's only going to black students. Her group of friends have mapped out their paths to class so they can walk together and keep each other safe." This is horrible. Now you have the 15-year-old daughter of Laura Bass Brown having received this message from an unfamiliar number, and it initially appeared to be automated. However, after reviewing screenshots from her daughter's friends, she discovered the sender often replied when students responded. So this is, I mean, this is quite an operation. Okay, how did they get their names and numbers? That's my question, right? How did you get these names and numbers? Who's funding this? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Some appear, according to Text Now, okay, this is a company called Text Now. Some appear to have been sent through their company, and what they believe is a widespread coordinated attack. But by who? Again, could it be the Russians? Could it be, who knows, right? Who knows? But it just seems like it wouldn't make sense for Russia to do it. They wanted to affect the election, right? Well, the election's over. So those bot farms probably would have just, folded right up. They didn't need them anymore. And so that begs the question, who's doing this? Who is doing this? What is going on? Now, NAACP CEO Derek Johnson thinks he knows who to blame. He said, quote, "The unfortunate reality of electing a president who historically has embraced and at times encouraged hate is unfolding before our eyes. These messages represent an alarming increase in violent, abhorrent rhetoric from racist groups across the country who now feel emboldened to spread hate, stoke the flames of fear that many of us are feeling after Tuesday's election result." So basically blaming racist groups. Now, Donald Trump's presidential campaign, however, said, "We've got nothing to do with this. All right. We had nothing to do with these messages." That's according to spokesperson Carolyn Levitt. All right. Well, maybe. Yeah. Sure. Maybe not. I don't know. But there's going to have to be an investigation. And there is. I mean, think though the timing, right? The day after he wins the election, these messages go out. And this also coincides, by the way, with an increase of misogynistic messages that have gone out. And now it's not coordinated or anything like that, not like this, but there's been an increase in young men going around and to women on social media and just saying the most unhinged, terrible things, like, for example, "Your body, my choice." Okay. And so that's been happening. And then you get this coordinated thing, or seemingly coordinated thing, where it's blasting out racist text messages to black children all across the country. There's something really, I mean, it's not a coincidence, okay? There's something going on here, all right? Now, that said, I mentioned that there's an investigation, right? State and local law enforcement groups are investigating the matter. And in fact, this is in Virginia. Attorney General Jason Miyares wrote in a statement that the Attorney General's office is aware of these text messages and unequivocally condemns them. Anyone who believes themselves to be under threat should not hesitate to call local law enforcement and their local FBI field office by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or visiting fbi.gov/tips. Then you also have Nevada's Attorney General's office that's working with law enforcement to investigate the source of what appear to be robo-text messages, the office said in a statement on X. And in Washington, D.C., the Attorney General's office is also aware of racist text messages being sent to residents there, condemning them unequivocally. Notice, by the way, in the Trump statement, that they didn't condemn them. They just said, "It wasn't us." Oh, aren't you missing something? Unequivocally condemn these horrible text messages? No? No? Of course not. Of course not. Shouldn't be shocking, right? So understand that this is what the next 4 years of Donald Trump are going to be like. Okay? Trump, you've got racism, misogyny, xenophobia, transphobia. You've got all of it. All of it. And it is absolutely emboldened because you had an election where not only did they massively win the Electoral College, but, I mean, they did very, very well compared to the Democrats. Well, obviously, you lost. Now, that said, Trump actually got 2 million less votes than he did in the 2020 election. Okay, so he actually lost ground. He didn't gain any ground. And then the problem, though, is that you had Harris that lost about 13.8 million votes. So people didn't show up for her. And so that's the issue. Trump actually lost ground. He had hit his cap, lost support. And, well, this would probably be an example of why. Okay? Showing that, a lot of the supporters, there are supporters of Trump that are racist, that are misogynistic. Not saying that all of them are, all right? Not writing them off, all of them. But let's just say this, not all Republicans are racist, but all racists are Republicans. And that's just the reality now that we're going to be having to deal with. Not just until Trump's gone. Oh, no, 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 no. This won't disappear when he leaves. This will be here until we, as a country, as a people, deal with it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.